A kata maps out the angle and direction to attack the weak spots on the human body. That was the purpose of kata. I've traced it 750 years, forms. And over those 750 years, you can see that that's why the early masters only did one form. They only did one kata. If you, it's like I said earlier, people think that this is a down block or this is an up block. If that's what you think, then your mind is closed off right there. That's all the further you will think. But we have people in our organization, in fact all over the world, really. My organization is now spread into Australia, New Zealand, all over the world. I go over to New Zealand and blue belts are coming up and green belts are coming up saying, could this move in the kata be this pressure point and this pressure point? Can it be that pressure point and that pressure point? They're asking, they're thinking. That's what kata was for though, to use your mind. Your mind's closed off. If you say down block punch, when I found this, I was in the martial arts for over 20 years, almost 25 years, till this came into my life. And I was blocking and punching, and I know a lot of you people work as you talk to me as you went around the room. This one man over here brought a whole bunch of his students, and he was in shock when he saw my videotapes. But now you can think, as long as you know what the move is in the kata. For instance, when I do a move in the kata, I no longer have 10 things it could be. But when I do it, I have 10 things that move. Even just this augmented block, I have 10 things it can be. But when I do that move in the kata today, I have a thought in my mind, one thought. You cannot do a kata and say it could be 3 things. It's one thing today, tomorrow it's another thing. I can be attacking arm points, body points. I can be talking arm points, head points. And everybody does this augmented block and they go, augmented block, augmented block, augmented block. The early masters only knew one kata. Yet they were considered deadly. Right? Now we know why. If you read any of the stuff, in fact there's a book called 20th Century Warriors. If you read the story in there on Hohan Soken. Anybody have that book called 20th Century Warriors? Did you read that on Hohan Soken? His section? Yeah, but do you remember the spot where it says that he was in the martial arts training in weapons, kumite, kata, etc. for 10 years? And then his grandfather took him out to the barn to teach him real karate. It's in quotes, real karate. If he was practicing the karate for 10 years, what did his grandfather teach him? Doesn't that make you curious? I mean, it says it that way. He was in the martial arts for 10 years, practicing all the normal things that people practice. He says, kata, kumite, weapons. And after 10 years, his grandfather decided to take him out in the barn and show him what real karate was about. And then also in that same story, it says there's several of the moves in the kata can be used to kill, or to cripple, or to injure. And you've all been to my other seminars where I've just showed you the lightest moves, how dangerous they are and they can be. And even that move in Pinan 4 where you go like this, everybody says pulling the head down and you're doing this behind you. And there's about 4 or 5 techniques that we use right there on that move.